tonight, we're going to make a little envelope flip book. So how many of you are going to make it from scratch with me? Hi Alison. And make the envelopes, and how many of you are going to use envelopes that you've already got? Hello Michelle, very glad to have you with us. Right, good. Ray, you're making them all along with me, are you? Cool. Right. Is Melanie listening? Melanie Pickering. Pickering. Because she's distracting me at the moment. I'm having a conversation with a friend in a group that I'm in about not getting a letter from Boris. So, guys, if you could just be quiet, please, because you're really distracting me, because it's interesting and I keep getting sidetracked. Pepper's Magic Unicorn. Oh, I don't know that one. Hi, Diane. From scratch. Brilliant, Michelle. Right, okay. Now, in good, again, Blue Peter form. Anybody who's not English probably won't understand this, who's not British. Hi, Larissa. Oh, good. Going to make it with me. Probably won't understand this phrase, but like I said, here's one I made earlier. Now, I've dug these out because this is going back years and years and years. I've dug out one that used ready-made envelopes, and I've dug out one that made envelopes that I made with my envelope maker. How many of you have still got this? Because it makes making envelopes dead easy, but I found a way to do it without this that is also easy. It just takes a little bit longer. So this one was made on that one, but we're ignoring that because we're not going to use it tonight because not everybody's got one. This one was made with proper envelopes, ready-made envelopes. I mean, this is as old as the hills, this is. What was this paper called? Was it called Documented or something? Who made it? Can't remember. It's as old as the hills. But I've used 4 envelopes on this one here that you can see. And what we're going to do is basically join a whole load of envelopes together. Leave these bits open, these openings open, so that we can make photo mats to pop in there. Or if you like sending this sort of thing to pen pals, you can put letters in or all sorts of things. Hi Gwen. Hi Melissa. All sorts of different things. So this is one that I made with existing envelopes. As you can see, it's still got the sticky on it there. And all I've done is I've matted each of those envelopes with paper. Like I said, it's as old as the hills, but I still really, really like that. Was it Simple Stories? Can't remember. Anyway, love that paper. So that's the and I'll tell you about how to do that. Hi Julia. As we go. Then the other one that I made with my envelope maker was this one. This is only, what, about 3 or 4 years old. This paper, I think, was Paper Mania, and it's so pretty. I'm not usually a great lover of their bits, but I just thought this paper was to die for. And this is pretty much what we're going to make tonight. And this is how the book goes. It's another foldy-uppy one with photo mats that you just pop into your envelopes there. Now I will say with this one that I made the envelopes and I made them out of single-sided paper, so it's white on the inside, which you can see here, and then I just covered, you know, this inside bit. But we're not going to do that. Hopefully we're going to use double-sided papers tonight, and the size of envelopes that we're going to use will end up like this. This is my prototype to make sure that it actually worked. Yeah, Tracy, that's pretty much what it does. Matted, yeah, if you mat it, you're going to cover a piece of card with patterned paper, basically. But this is the size of the one that we're going to make tonight, and I can't remember how big it is. 7 by 5 1/4 ish. And then this is what we're going to do. I haven't decorated it because this is just my prototype, but you get the idea. It's just attaching envelopes together, and it's so easy. But I'm going to teach you how to make these envelopes. Now, the paper that I chose is also an extremely old collection because I'm trying to use up my stuff, but it's so pretty, and I never used it all. And it's Wildflower by Kaisercraft. And I just love the watercolour bits of it. And I'm sure you know this, but if you use Kaisercraft paper, you will find that there is always at the bottom some extra little bits to cut out. You don't waste a thing, and that's the nice thing I think about Kaisercraft. So what I want you to do is I want you to get 3 pieces of preferably double-sided paper, but it doesn't matter, and I want you to cut out each one at 10 inches by 10 inches. That's all Mark's got to write down tonight, is 10 inches by 10 inches. That is his only job tonight, which is why I think he's probably on the cider. So let me get my cutting thingy out, and I'm going to cut these. No, look, Mel, she's just popped up again. She says, look at the time. Cal has a lesson and I haven't popped in to say hi. Shall we... Oh, she's here now. Yeah, I've been talking about you, Mel. Anyway, we're cutting at 10 inches by 10 inches. I've got a thing hanging down here that shouldn't be hanging right in the way. Right. Keep all your bits of paper that you cut off, because we can use them for decorating and all sorts. So there you go, just got a square, 10 inches square. And I'm going to do that with each of these papers. Evening, Ruth. It is pretty paper, Mel. If you'd been here at the beginning, you would have found out that it was an old collection called Wildflower by Kaisercraft. And I've been reading everybody your conversation about how you worried about being late to class. Yeah, I know. Right, so we've now got 3 pieces of paper that are 10 inches by 10 inches. And what I want you to do is I want you to decide which paper you want to see the most of. So, for instance, which paper do you want on the outside of your envelope, this bit here, and which paper do you want on the inside of your envelope, which would be this bit here. And what I want you to do is think of this bit as the inside. Hi, Nicole. And this bit as the outside. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to grab a pencil. I had one earlier, God knows where it's gone. I dread to think. Here it is. Oh, I also know that it's broken, but it'll do. And I'm going to measure a point. I'm going to see where on each piece of paper the midpoint is. So that's going to be at 5 inches across that way. I'm just going to make a little mark so I know where it is. And then I'm going to need to know where 5 inches is that way. And I'm going to just make a little cross so that I know that that is the exact midpoint of my paper. Okay, and we're going to do that on all of them. So this piece of paper here, that's what I consider the inside of my book. And I'm going to do that on each of them. So find the exact midpoint, which is 5 inches. There. And I've just made a little pencil mark so I know where that is. Now, I did mention before that it's really helpful if you don't use a directional paper, because folding these is going to be an absolute nightmare if you are. And when I say directional, I mean it's got a pattern on it that it's going to matter if it goes the right way. So, for example, This is a non-directional paper. It doesn't matter which way it was going, but if all these were sort of like these feathers were all going the same way, that would be directional and you'd be able to see which way it faced, if that makes sense. But I do find this is a lot easier without. So what we're going to do now is we are going to make our envelopes. So what I want you to do is I want you to take a corner, doesn't matter which corner, and I want you to put the point of that corner onto that mark that you've made, the midpoint of your paper, and I want you to fold that over, and I want you to burnish it really well because it's very important that we have a really good fold. Okay, so I've taken that point, popped it to where my mark is, and I've folded it. So I'm going to turn that round and I'm going to do exactly, oh, I'm going to try and do exactly the same again. So I'm going to take the opposite point, I'm going to make sure that that's at my midpoint, and I am going to fold that paper over, and I'm going to make sure that I've got a really, really good fold there. Okay. All right so far? I haven't got my glasses on, so I can't see if you're all right so far. Sadie's watching without sound. I don't blame you. Oh, Ellie. Oh, well, Axel can watch tomorrow if he likes. Which one looks like duck? Oh, that one. Yeah, duck footprints. It does, doesn't it? I like that. Right. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we are going to take our third corner and we are going to pop that into the middle like we have with those two, and we're going to fold that over and burnish it really well. Okay, now what I want you to do is I want you to unfold that one. Okay, and we're going to take this final point here, and I'm just going to wait a minute just to make sure that it's in shot because I don't know. I'm presuming it is. I'm going to take this point and I'm going to fold it all the way up to this score line, or that fold line, all the way up there. Okay, and I'm going to make sure that my papers match up on both sides there, so that this point is in the middle. Oh, sorry about that. Hi, Christy. And I'm going to just burnish that. Okay, so you can see now what we've got here is that that folds up a lot more than those three. This has actually got an overlap. Okay, stop picking on metal. Why?
Me.
Oh, why? What were you saying?
Who?
You.
I said she's missing all the cake talk.
Oh, Sadie. Yeah. Right, okay. So now we've got the base of our envelope. This is all making sense so far, I'm hoping. Now what we need to do is fold that over. Now you can either make a little mark and fold it, but actually I found the other day the easiest way to do this is just to line up my ruler to those points there where this pointy bit meets there. And if I just fold that up, give myself a crease mark. If I then fold that back down, let's just check that fits. There we go. I've got a perfect crease mark, and I've got my envelope. How easy is that? If I want to, I can round that corner to make it more like an ordinary envelope. But now I've got a really, really pretty envelope. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it. So I need to put glue on the inside of this bit here because that's what I need to glue down. So I'll just grab my glue. Oh, I've just dropped the pin on the floor. And I'm just going to run a little bit of glue from that fold line. She says, hopefully. It won't come out now, even though I've just, there we go. From that fold line all the way up. Oh no, to that fold there. This has been the story of my life today. Hang on. Far too much glue. And I'm going to do the same on that side there. So I'm going to run it up from the fold line all the way up there. I'm then going to fold that back. And I'm going to make sure that that is glued down. Okay. I'll just use my bone folder just to make sure that I get really, really good adhesion. And there I have my envelope. How easy is that? Sticky toffee pudding? Oh, don't. We haven't had pudding yet. I'd have to say, we had egg and chips for tea. Mark made the chips and they were the best chips I've ever had in my life.
Well, you didn't say I made the eggs.
Well, you didn't make the eggs, you cooked the eggs. Well, at least not that I saw. Anyway, moving swiftly on, we've got to make 3 of these, okay? So that's the first one done, so I'm just going to put that to one side. And I'm now going to make my second envelope. So here's the little mark that I've made inside in the middle. I'm going to put the point up to there, and I'm going to fold that over, and I'm going to burnish so that I get a really, really good fold. Okay? And I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side. Okay, so I've got 2 really good folds there. Okay, my third point, I'm going to pop that into the middle, line that up more or less. Oops, it's not quite as good as the first one. It's near enough and it doesn't matter. And then this last one, I'm going to fold this point up to the middle here, just line it up. And there I've made my second envelope. Okay, I'm going to fold that bit over, so I'm going to line up those 2 points there, fold that back so that I know where I'm folding, and fold it the right way there. Just double check that that fits, which it does, and I'm going to glue that down those edges now. Okay, how easy. Puppies, what have I missed? I don't think I want to know. Okay, so now I've got my second envelope. These are so pretty. Okay, and now I'm going to make my third one. So I'm going to take my paper. I'm going to fold that into the middle there. I'm going to fold that one into the middle there. And I'm going to fold this one into the middle there. Okay, I'm going to burnish them. Make sure I've got a really good crease. Oops. Burnish it properly would probably help. And now I'm going to take this final point, put that up to the top, and fold that down and burnish it. Make my fold. Make sure it fits, which it does. And I'm going to just run my glue along there and glue that down. That looks like it hasn't got any pattern paper on it because it's so pale pink. Not to worry. You won't see most of it. Okay. Right. Hi, Jackie. Hello, Meg. How are you? Nice to see you again. What's with the puppies? Gail, your envelopes are junk. They do look like houses, Axel. Do you know what? Your mummy can show you how to make origami houses. Can't you, Ellie? Because she made some at the weekend, I think. Right, okay, so I've got my 3 envelopes now. So what I need to decide is what way round do I want them? You have to decide which one that you want. You think about your cover and you have to decide which one that you want on your cover. So you either want to have that much showing or this bit showing. It depends which papers you like the most. Just bear in mind which ones that you'll need, you know, which order you'll need them in. So this bit is the middle envelope and this is the last envelope. So I'm going to have a look and see which I like. So off the top of my head, I would say that probably I'm going to like that. It's a bit samey actually for my outside one. Oh, here's Storm. What's she brought us? Oh, she's brought us a toy. Oh, bless her. So let's see if I like that one any better. Still a bit samey. I don't know. I can't decide now. No, I'm going to stick with my original idea and I'm going to do them that way round. So, because we're folding them round and round, I thought it would be sensible to have a little bit of a, I'm going to say that word again, a gusset. How did you know that, dear? Just so that we've got a bit of room to put some, you know, to put some extra bits in. So you can see here, I think, there's a bit of a gap down there between the envelope edge, this bit, and the next envelope. What I don't want to do is put this envelope dead close up to there. I can do, there's nothing wrong with that. It just means that I can't fit as much in it as I would like. So I want to leave a bit of a gap. So there's 2 ways that you can make your gusset. You can either be all proper and do it on your scoreboard, but you know, that's just too complicated for this time of night. Or you can just eyeball it, which I know is going to fill a lot of you with absolute horror. So let's have a look. I've got my fold there. I want about 1/4 of an inch, so I'm just going to put it there. Let's see. Yeah, about there. And I'm just going to make another fold in my envelope. So watch me do this all wrong now. I've got a fold there and I've got the fold of my envelope there. Okay, so now it's got a bit of a gusset on it. Okay, don't be scared, just fold it. So I've got that fold there. I'm going to want about 1/4 of an inch and see if that's 1/4 of an inch, which it roughly is. Let's make sure. Yep, that's good. And I'm going to fold that. And there. So I've got a bit of a gusset on that one too. And then finally, on my last envelope, move it along roughly where I think 1/4 of an inch is. God, I'm good at this. About there. Watch me mess it all up now for being arrogant. Yeah. And I'm going to fold that over.
You're doing a gusset on all 3?
Yep, I'm doing a gusset on all 3. Okay, so I've got a gusset on all 3. All right, I think that makes sense. So that when I fold them up, it'll just give me a little bit of extra space for things that I want to add in. Like for instance, in this one, I've added, I've used Project Life card, but I've put a bit of sort of layering on here with some of these die cuts and cut aparts, and I've got clips in there, and it just means that when I roll it up, it's not all terribly squashed and it kind of sits all right. So you can see here, well, looking back on it, that wasn't the brightest place to put a clip, but you can see here there's a little bit of a gusset. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to glue them together. So I want you to unroll the envelopes, and I want you to look at the envelope that's going to be the very, very end envelope. So this envelope here, pardon me, okay? And what I want you to do is I want you to put some wet glue on that envelope fold there, on the flap, up to that score mark, the first score mark of the gusset, okay? So that when we attach this envelope, which is going next to it, we're actually not going to butt it right up to that score mark, to that fold line there. We're going to actually attach it to where that second, I can't even see it, to where that second line is, which is about there, I think. But we want them to line up at the bottom. You're going to have a gap here, worry not. Okay, so we're going to glue that down. So that's what it's going to look like on the other side. So we've glued it up to where that score mark is. Okay, so here's my envelope. There's my fold line of the envelope. There's the fold line that I put in to form the gusset, and that is where I've attached that second envelope up to that line there. So we're going to have these funny little clicky corners. Okay, don't worry. And then we're going to do exactly the same thing with our final envelope. So I'm just going to put some glue on the flap there, and I'm going to attach my final envelope up to that gusset score line, which I'm hoping is there. No, because I can't see. There. Okay, so that is my flip book. That is the base of it. Okay, and that is the other side. So you can see here I've still got these funny little clippy bits, but my book folds up and that bit of envelope fits over that bit there. Okay, so that's the base of the book made. You can use as many envelopes as you like. Just bear in mind that you're going to get to a point where gussets are going to have to get bigger than these. I just like 3 because I just think it's a nice number, especially if it's something that you're going to be sending as a gift or something like that. It's nice and easy to manage. Okay, so what are we going to do about these funny little clicky things here? You might not mind them, in which case that's absolutely fine. You can just decorate this as it is now. If it bothers you, because it's not all the same all the way round, what I've done on this book is I've actually used some washi tape all the way around the edges, all the way around, so that you can't tell that those little clippy bits underneath. Okay, now I have got my washi tape, but I don't know if there's one. I found one that goes, but I don't know how much I've actually got of it. And it is quite wide. I'm hoping there's enough. This is the worst bit now, making a decision as to which washi tape to use. Could use that one, because that's kind of not a bad colour. That one might be a bit wide. Oh, decisions. Oh, could use gold. No, I couldn't. No, I don't like it. That that one might be all right because I think it's very translucent. The pink one. That one, Gail. Yeah. All right. Well, if it doesn't work, it's your fault. Okay. So, I find this is easiest to do it in 5 bits. So we're going to do these long edges first. So, right. I'm going to turn this over. Not all washi tape is no pink. That one or the dark one. The dark pink, which I've now lost. That one. Hang on. I'm glad you've chosen these because these are actually sticky ones. I think that... Oh. Oh, God. Thanks, guys. Which one? That one? Or that one? Hello or sweet?
Sweet.
Hello, pink. Right, okay, hello, pink it is. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this tape so that half of it is on one side and half of it is on the other. So, watch me. I'm just going to, if I take that all the way to there, and adhere it on one side, if I turn it over now, oh, paper, I can just roll that over there. Like that, and I can trim off the bits that I don't want. Some washi tape isn't sticky particularly, so in that case what I would suggest you do is put a spot of glue on there. Alright, so I've now glued that down, now or squished it down, adhered it, whatever. Okay, so that's one side and that's the other. So now I'm going to do this side. Let's have a look. Okay, let's take that up. Ooh. And fold that over there. Now, I've been trying to think about what we're going to do next week. And my sense of humour tells me we should make a toilet roll book. Because I think this is an issue the world over at the moment. Toilet rolls and lack of. So what do you reckon? We can do a toilet roll book? Or I thought of something else. What was it? Can't remember. Right, so that's done. So now I'm going to attach this one down the bottom. Stuff everywhere, washi tape. And now I'm just going to do these two end pieces.
So I see Edward suggests if you finish the 12-inch.
Yes, I have. I've finished the AB Studio one, bar a few photo mats, which are just boring the heck out of me at the moment. But I discovered, or I decided, that I needed to change one measurement on the book for the other one. So I've been doing that. I've been putting it together today, and oh, just let me unstick this from my desk. I've been working on the travel one. So all you're getting at the moment is that. That's all you're getting. But it's coming on, so it's nearly done. It's nearly done. I'm going to make you wait a bit longer for that. I am sorry. But I just got so bored of making photo mats. I really... No, Larissa, 4's fine. You can use as many as you like. I just got bored of photo mats. But it is finished.
Mum called you a flasher.
I know she did. I'm ignoring her. She was late to class.
Oh, yeah. Gail said I didn't see it. Can you show it again? On the replay.
Hold on. Right. Okay. This is one page in the 12 by 12, and look, it's got a magnet. That's all I'm showing you at the moment. That's the front cover. But I haven't decided whether I'm going to put pocket on the front like I have on the AB Studio, or a scrapbook page, because I've said that there's room for 3 scrapbook pages in this normal 12 by 12 pages if you include the front cover. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But that's a belly band there, just so you know. It's a little tuck things and pockets, and that's all you're getting for now. So it's nearly done. Right. Hello. Last bit. I think this is a really good choice, Gail. This pink, actually, on reflection. I'm not a pink lover, but I think you were right. Okay.
I didn't see the bit where she said she changed her mind.
You changed your mind?
She did.
I don't mind. I can live with that. Right. Okay, so I'm going to trim that off. I told you this book wasn't difficult.
It's hot.
It's very warm, isn't it? All right, so there is the base of my book, and there it rolls up. Okay, and that's going to be the front of it.
Sadie has asked, do you get 12-inch Tyvek?
No, we're using A4 Tyvek, but you can't tell that it's only A4, trust me, because we're going to cover it up.
You can get house-side Tyvek.
You can get huge pieces of Tyvek, but quite frankly, I can't be bothered to cut them all up. So, that's our book. It's as simple as that. What you do now with it is entirely up to you. You can make some photo mats to go in here, just to tuck them in and pull them out. You can decorate this up with Project Life cards. You can fussy cut. I'm going to make my photo mats. So I'm just going to check the size before I make them. So I'd say 4.5 by 6. That's not much bigger than a normal 6.25. So 6.25 by 4.75. Can you write this down, please, Mock? What did I say? 6.5 by 6.25 by 4.5. And you are going to want 3 of those at least. You can probably fit 6 in, but I'm just going to do 3 for now. And I'm going to use just some plain white card, which I've put somewhere safe. What did I say? 6.25 by 4.5. So 6.25. by 4.5. Now for me, these kind of, I don't know why, but I'm gonna round the corners on these because that just feels like the right thing to do. And you can just decorate these up like normal photo mats. You can add some ribbon onto them to pull it out. But in theory, that should just... Oh, I've done this before. Slip into there. Should have done it on pink card really. And that's easy now to decorate up for photo mats or quotes or whatever I want to put on them. So I need a closure and I need to decorate up the front. That's what I'm going to do next. So let me grab my papers because I know I have still got some stickers and I know there are some cutter parts somewhere. There we go. So I'm just going to cut those up.
What size are the mats? That was the
6 1/4 by 4.5. If you've made the same envelopes that I have, if you've got different envelopes, if you're using your own envelopes or you're using your envelope maker or whatever, then obviously it's going to be a different size. I might fussy cut that. We'll see. Well, Mark and I had a bit of a disaster at the weekend. We've isolated at home for 2.5 weeks. We haven't seen or been within contact distance of another human being, so that we could visit my dad and pop him his shopping, which we did on Sunday, which was great because we knew that we'd be safe to see him. Because even though I'm only 21 and a bit, Dad's getting on a bit, so he has to isolate himself. And it was great. We went over, said hello, family stuff, you know, and got in Mark's car. Luckily only drove about 200 yards down the road, and no gears. That wasn't what I was going to say. I was going to say your gear stick went all floppy.
It did go all floppy.
It went very floppy. So we walked back to Dad's, borrowed Dad's car. I followed Mark all the way home. It's about 25 miles, by the way. Followed Mark all the way home.
Second gear. In
second gear. With Dad's car, just in case Mark's broke down completely. Actually got home. Then, this is the point now where I'm not sure whether it was an essential journey or not, but we had to get my car, drive Dad's car and my car back to Dad's house to drop off Dad's car. Not that he needed it, but you just never know, do you? And then drove all the way back home. Otherwise, the book might have been finished. Possibly. Or not. Right, that'll do for now. Yeah, my dad got his shopping, which was good. So he's not going to starve. Right, so. Oh, decorating on the hop. It just makes me so nervous. Right, that's pretty.
What papers were these?
These were Wildflower by Kaisercraft, and they're really old, but it's really, really pretty. I don't know. Anyway, closure. I did grab some ribbon earlier, but now I'm not sure I like it. No, it doesn't go at all. I need some pink ribbon. Dare I send Mark off to get pink ribbon? No, I probably don't, do I? I'm going to make a hole in there. And I think I'm going to just add an eyelet. Need a pokey tool. Right, so I'm going to make a hole. In the middle there. I think I'm going to add an eyelet in just because I can. Oh, I changed this the other day. It'll never work again now. Does anybody actually understand how these things work? Let's go for that one. Oh, lost my eyelet. Oh, well, that was luck rather than judgment. Right, so I've got my eyelet in. So I'm not going to use the thread that I'm going to show you. I'm going to find some ribbon to go into it, but I want to show you how I did it on this one. Because all this is one long thread. It's a couple of ribbons that I like. Well, 3 ribbons that I liked that I tied together. And I'll tell you how long they are. It is roughly 12... From 2.5 feet, which is what in centimetres?
2.5 feet.
2.5 feet in centimetres, 75 centimetres, isn't it? 3/4 of a metre. Yeah. And all I did with that was I tied a knot here in the middle of my ribbons to keep them together, but it actually also helps when you want to come to tie the book up. So all I've done is I just wrap that round there and tie it here into a bow.
What size eyelets did you use?
I have no idea. They are eyelet sized. I think they're quite big actually. They were quite big ones. The internal diameter is 1/4 inch. So that is about 1/2 centimetre roughly, the internal diameter. External.
Can you just put a hole instead of a crocodile?
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah, I'll tell you what you can use as well. Or you know how you used to get those old-fashioned sticky hole reinforcers? They'll do. Or stick a circle of card over here and then just use a hole punch. An ordinary hole punch. But do try and reinforce it in one way if you can. Like I said, just use a circle of paper should do it. Okay, right, so now we're just going to decorate, and I hate doing it in public. because I faff decorating.
Oh.
I don't know. Well, that fits quite nicely. That's got to be done, hasn't it? Right, let's trim that a little bit more. Well, that was obviously meant to go there. Okay. Just as I planned, yes, just exactly as I planned. Just wondering if there's some paper that I can fussy cut in this collection, because it's watercolour, it's quite difficult to...
Nina says bye.
Are you off, Nina? I will see you soon. I shall see you on Friday.
On camera.
On camera, yes, not in real life.
Very simple.
No, chance would be a fine thing. You know, these papers are nice, but when you come to use them, they're actually a bit wishy-washy. In terms of, there's nothing particularly bold other than black that's easy to use. Just wondering if inking it a little bit might help. Oops, well, I won't be inking any more tonight.
Okay. Meant onto pink card.
Yeah, that would probably be a good idea, and I'm just thinking that these would have been good to mount. Instead of using the white, it would have been nice to have mounted that onto pink. It doesn't really lend itself to cutting out. I suppose a bit of it does. I think this is why I stopped using it before. It must have been because it's too pretty to not use. But I reckon this was what it was. It was I started a project and then decided there wasn't enough contrast in it. So this paper was evidently for stroking purposes only. See, it just kind of blends into the background. Oh, I know what I've forgotten to do. I was going to do the draw tonight for that little book that I made last week. Oh, I'll have to do that. I'll do I'll put everybody's name in a hat and I'll do a film of the draw. If I don't do it today, I'll do it tomorrow. I've completely forgotten about that. I am sorry.
Proper down, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, I'm stuck to myself. It is warm. That's better. Right. Anyway, you get the idea. It's just a case of decorating up now. Adding little things like clips for interest. You can add flat paper flowers. You could add ribbons. You can add all sorts of things to it to make it interesting. Stickers.
Marie says hi from California.
Oh, I bet it's warm there. Hi, Marie. Right, well, I'm going to have a play with this anyway, because I'm not going to let it beat me. Right, anyway, I'm not going to bore you all and make you watch me do all this bit, but you get the idea. Is there anything that people are stuck on? Is there any bit that you don't understand? Is there a bit that you want me to go over again? Is there anything else that I can help with? Stamping. Great idea, Kerry. I think that's going to have to be the answer. So we all right? They all...
Don't quite understand what Melanie's...
Melanie, they're all 10 by 10. All of the envelopes started off at 10 by 10. You can make them smaller. You make them in exactly the same way. It's just obviously just bear in mind that your envelopes are going to be smaller.
A lot smaller.
Yes, quite a lot smaller. So, are we all happy? We all know what we're doing, apart from me. Is there anything else that you want to know?
Kimmy says bye.
Or are you happy to leave it there for tonight? Like I said, next week I think we'll do a toilet roll book, just because that's hilarious, I think, under the current circumstances. So I will be back tomorrow. I'll do this draw tomorrow at some point. I'm not quite sure when. It'll be sometime tomorrow evening, but I'll do it in the group live so that we can have a look at that. We'll be back next Wednesday. We'll do a toilet roll book, and hopefully sometime over the weekend I'll be able to do I'll do a pre-recorded video, 3 Mel, of the 12 by 12 books. And I know that Mel's been working really hard on getting the stuff together for the charms, but we obviously won't have those to show you when we do the video, because contagion, basically. I don't want her anywhere near me. So with that in mind, thank you ever so much for joining me this evening. I love you, Mel, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right then, bye bye.